syndrome.
I could hold the camera.
For an hour?
Put it sideways.
Just keep your phone nearby in case it needs something.
But it'll be for now.
All right, guys, we are going to be live. So if everybody would refresh their Facebook pages if they have them open, we are actually, at this point, anybody can view what we're doing. So heads up.
I had it working before.
Open. We are actually, at this point, anybody can view what we're doing.
But I had it working
Can you guys still hear me?
before you told me to put it.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Can you guys still hear me?
And you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back. You can hear me.
Alex, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good. Thanks. That's what I need. All right, Sandy, you're on mute. Is it on purpose?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Okay, good. All right, standing up again. I'm gonna go off video here.
Can't see the candles.
That's okay. I'm okay with this.
Okay, I'm going off video, not because I don't love you, but because it's better for you guys.
We'll figure it out for next.
Touch the candles just so I can see where it is.
So I think you can actually, it's just my name's in the way.
Do you want me to say to them, make sure you mute yourself?
Everybody's muted as they come in.
Okay.
I'm going to be checking that, and nobody has the ability to unmute themselves unless I believe the hosts and co-hosts.
Okay.
You should be able to unmute people. Hi, everybody. Shabbat shalom, if you're here. So I'm going to mute myself.
All right. It looks like we have 2 minutes.
Okay. All right, I can hang on. Just for anybody watching, if you want to, we see the shared screen, you can actually move. There's a little double bar over. If you change it from speaker view to gallery view, you can see the book and then see Rabbi David up next to you and Sandy as well.
Yeah, something. Not working on the iPad.
I wish I had two pushpans.
Questions?
Okay, I have 7:30, right?
Here we go.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's good to be with you, even if virtually. This is our way of coming together at the end of a long week and joining as a community in Shabbat. Just because we are unable to leave our homes doesn't mean that Shabbat stops, and it doesn't mean that our community ceases to exist. We're here together, and dare I say, we need Shabbat as much as ever, given the state of our world and all of the various emotions that we're all feeling as we navigate this time together. So I hope you can see me, and perhaps you have access to our prayer book, which you should see on the screen before you. But in truth, even if you can't, it's fine to just listen. It's fine to sing along where you feel comfortable doing so. Maybe you're watching on a laptop, maybe you're watching on a phone, maybe you're sitting with loved ones. Wherever you are and however you're spending this time, I hope that this Shabbat gives us all a little bit of peace and perspective. Before we sing an opening song, I thought I would share a poem that was shared with me that I think resonates. The poem is called Pandemic. What if we thought of it as we Jews consider the Sabbath, a most sacred of times? Cease from travel, cease from buying and selling, give up just for now on trying to make the world different than it is. Sing, pray, touch only those to whom you commit your life, center down, and when your body has become still, reach out with your heart. Know that we are connected in ways that are terrifying and beautiful. You could hardly deny it. Know that our lives are in one another's hands, and surely that has come clear. Do not reach out your hands, reach out your heart, reach out your words, reach out all the tendrils of compassion that move invisibly where we cannot touch. Promise this world your love, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, so long as we shall live. We'll join together in an opening song, Shir Chadash.
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
And now, as we Jews have done since the very beginning of time, we'll join in a blessing for our Shabbat lights, followed by our Shabbat Kiddush, connecting us especially at this very fragile moment to our tradition and our history and to Jews around the world.
Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri agafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodsho be'ava u'ratzon imkilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tefilah lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, b'shabbat kodshecha be'ava u'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekodesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Chaim. Our service will continue as we do each week with the singing of Lecha Dodi, the imagery of welcoming the Sabbath bride. And as I say each week, as has become our custom, we're going to join together in verses 1, 2, and 9.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabla. Shamar v'zachor b'diburecha, Hishniyanu elam yochad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litgila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabla. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekol ha'beracha merosh mikadam nesuka, sof ma'aseh b'mat Shabbat kila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabla. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'bsola, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala, boi kala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, hine Shabbat nikabla.
This is always the moment in our service when we wish those around us Shabbat Shalom. If you're seated among others, wish them Shabbat Shalom. If you want, you can say Shabbat Shalom in the chat. You can text your friends and family at this time and tell them Shabbat Shalom. We hope they're doing well. As our service continues with our call to worship, Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamivorach, Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamivorach, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom all praise is due, now and forever.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. And thou shalt love thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. And all these words which I command you this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest on thy way, and when thou risest up, and when thou liest down, and when thou liest down. Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that he may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously, as we do now in singing together our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha.
Mi kamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar v'kodesh, mi kamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar v'kodesh. Nora tehilot, ose Nora tehilot, ose Mi kamocha va'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar v'kodesh.
I've been talking recently about the Hashkivenu prayer and the fact that it seems to resonate in entirely new ways these days. Hashkivenu at its heart is a prayer that we might lie down in peace, that we have a night of peace, and that tomorrow brings with it joy and peace and fulfillment. And we live in a moment right now where tomorrow seems uncertain, and we don't know what the news of tomorrow will bring. Hashkivenu at its core becomes a prayer of hopefulness that tomorrow can be a good day, and that God willing, tomorrow will be a good day. As Jews, we live with hope in our heart. We live with faith that there is good coming, that there is healing coming, and that there is wholeness coming to this incredibly broken and pained world at this moment. As we pray, give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Our service continues now with our most central collection of prayers that we refer to as our tefillah.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 satai dita. Na 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 ufi agi. Ufi agi tehilatecha. Na Adonai. Na satai dita. Na ufi agi. Ufi agi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech Eloheinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka,
Elohim,
El
El Gadol,
El Hasadim Tovim, Avot, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ואהבה. מלך עושה הושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם וחסרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל
חיים בחסד.
בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומק נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, מקיים אמונתו, בשני עפר, מי כמוך מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, נאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, בחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We join now in a prayer for shalom, for a greater level of peace in our world, that there might be an end to enmity and violence, animosity and prejudice, that we might remember, especially right now, that we are indeed one human family, united by a shared mission, working together, moving together all the time toward a greater sense of community, togetherness, a greater sense of shalom, as we sing Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki oto hu melech aron, lechol hashalom. Ki oto hu melech aron, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. B'tov enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
With that, we continue now with a prayer for healing. Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, gives us the space to pray for and consider deeply our loved ones who are hurting. And of course, we are so abundantly aware of the many, many around our world as the sun sets on this Friday night who are indeed in pain, suffering, if not physically, then with great anxiety and worry. Misha Berach becomes our opportunity to pray together in the name of all those in need of healing in our own community and around the world. As a congregation on this night, I know our prayers are with Ileana Cohn, Rick Ulrich, Shirley Lewis, Lynn Rumsberg, Amy Martyr, Millie Rosenberg, Annette Shine, Roxanne Forth, Jerry Dreskin, Bruce Berkowitz, Ann Marsden, Stephen Trumbecki. And perhaps you might at this moment hold in your own heart the name or names of those in your own life, in your own home, in your own circle who are also hurting, as we join together in our prayer for healing, Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Lekol Habracha Leimotenu Misha Berach Imotenu Lekol Habracha Lavotenu. Bless us in need of healing. Please hear our prayer. Amen.
We'll pause now for a precious moment or two for the sake of our very personal prayers and reflections.
Ose shalom bimrama, uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimrama, uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimrama, uyase shalom aleinu. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'alcho Yisrael. Yase shalom, yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'alcho Yisrael. Ose shalom bimroma. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma. Uyase shalom aleinu. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'alcho Yisrael. Yase shalom. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'alcho Yisrael.
Before we move toward the conclusion of our service, it's always appropriate in any service to say a word of Torah and share a word about our Torah portion for the week. And last week, as you may remember, last week was a long time ago all of a sudden, we concluded the book of Exodus, the book of Shemot, and as we say at the end of a book, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, that we might be strong and strengthen one another. And those words ring true, especially now as we pull together as a community and help each other and reassure each other and check in on each other. And we have to do that, especially these days. Now we begin a new book, the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus, a powerful book, an important book that will take us through the various efforts to draw closer to God, closer to their faith. And of course, the word sacrifice rings loudly now as well. And here I would reference the doctors, the nurses, the ENTs, the many who are working around the clock in an effort to save lives, who are in a lot of ways sacrificing their own well-being for the greater good and for the broader community. And we might also think about the sacrifices that we're making. And as I've noted before, sacrifice maybe isn't even the right word. The choices we're making at especially this moment in time in the name of other people, the choices we're making in the name of self-care. Are you maybe using this time to grow? Are you choosing to learn? Are you choosing to read? Are you choosing to get outside? I learned 1 or 2 new yoga poses this week. So that's something, right? In this moment of such heaviness, I think the choices we make matter. And I'm choosing to believe in a better day because we know it'll come. We're going to continue with our service as we move together to Aleinu, which we always turn to as our service comes close to a finish, as we sing together.
שלא שם חלקינו כאן, וגורלנו ככל המונן. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Pause now in order to remember the many we have loved and lost as a congregational family. There are stars up above so far away, we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. And we do remember at this time those taken from our congregational community in most recent days. Mitzi Longer, Ronald Kramer, and Wally Kramer. As well, we recall at this time those whose yahrzeit we mark on this Shabbat. Miriam Bittman, Belle Broder, Jeanette Cohen, Lucille Helfap, Harry Isidore, Lila Kazansky, Julia Krantz, Louis Kushner, Jacqueline Lesser, and we remember now, as we remember always, our beloved friend, our beloved teacher, Rabbi Richard A. Levine. Neil Lustig, Jenny Marshall, Flory Meyer, Nathaniel Miller, Jerry Parker, Irene Pilla, Lena Pomerantz, Mildred Schaefer, Stanford Slovin, Mary Saralovitz, Robert Tepper, Edward Udelsman, and Albert Zach. As well, at this time, we recall the many we have lost to illness over these preceding days and weeks, and the names that you hold in your heart, your cherished loved ones that we recall together now in reciting the Mourner's Kaddish, by which we thank God for the blessing of life and the blessing of love, as we do say, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayichon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shloma rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Before we move to a closing song, there aren't any official announcements, but I do invite you to join me tomorrow morning at 10 on the added Facebook page for an intimate service, an opportunity again to reconnect and to enjoy Shabbat, which we must do these days. Also, I just want to personally thank the added staff, especially Alex Grumbacher, and everyone who's just working around the clock, literally right now, to adjust to these changing realities every day and still bring us such wonderful Jewish content and substance in sometimes very unique ways, which is what we're all forced to do right now. Thank you to our tech team who made tonight's service possible. And as always, thank you to Cantor Sandi for lifting us up with her wonderful voice. We have a closing song in honor of, in memory of Rabbi Levine, and that is L'chu Neranana. And I think we're going to try to put maybe our whole group on the screen. Is that possible? So that you can see each other and actually we can realize how many of us are actually here at this moment. Not to mention all of them watching on Facebook.
Jaden, do you want to get the camera?
And we also get to hear everyone. So that's good too.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Rabbi.
Cantor. Here you go.
Here,
Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
So we sing together the L'Ranana that Rabbi Levine wrote. L'Chu Neranana.
Gotta meet everyone.
I see Carl and Arlene.
Really hard.
But I'm not there.
Oh, Andrea's with Stephen.
Lechuneranena ladonai. Naria naria lisorishenu. Lechuneranena, lechuneranena, lechuneranena.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Have a great night.
Everyone.
Be safe.
You too. Thank you.
Nice, thank
Shalom.
you.
Shabbat
Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Nice to see everybody.
Oh, look at us all.
I know, it's nice to see faces.
Shabbat shalom.
Oh.
Wow.
Shabbat shalom.
Thanks, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
You're welcome.
Hi,
Ann.
Harry.
Thank you, Ann.
And thanks everybody for setting this up.
What are you doing?
Hi, Helen. Hi, Ari.
Hi.
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 I'm gonna stop live.
Nice job, Ann.
Oh.
More people.